Hi, my name is Michael Draus. I'm the owner of Draus House Home Renovations. We do interior home renovations. We work on full houses, basements, kitchens, and bathrooms. I'm going to take you through a video walking through a past project that we worked on. Really nice past project. The customer worked with a designer. The designer's called Coco and Jack. They do amazing work. All their projects are beautiful. So it was really helpful for them, helpful for us. They had all the designs already finished before they contacted us, which is rare. They were so prepared, but it's really good. What we worked on in this project was the main floor, a little bit of entry, living room, dining room, powder room, and kitchen, partial kitchen. So I'll be taking you through this now, just to give you some insight on what is involved, how we help out, point out some details, maybe give you some ideas. So you walk into the house, first it was empty, as you see, but then we got some custom cabinets going here, little seating area there, sanded, stained, and finished coat on top of that. The hinge on the little cabinet underneath, and that opens downward. I had to go hunt out the hinges for that specifically so that it would slowly open downward so that they could put their shoes in there. So little things like this. Customer wants it to open like this. The kitchen cabinet doesn't have those hinges. I'm gonna hunt it out. Make sure that you get exactly what you want so that it's not left for you searching for this kind of stuff. So as you turn to the right, there's your living room. Beautiful arches we made. The wall originally, as you could see, was just flat, and we brought it out. So we brought that wall about 9 inches towards the living room so that we can make those arches. So now the cabinet and the custom cabinets and the custom shelving there is about 9 inches. Fireplace in the middle there. So that fireplace, nice fancy fireplace, beautiful. Natural gas with the tiles and the trim around it also. That was all from the designer, Coco and Jack. They were like down to how thick they want the border of that fireplace even. Then on top of there, you see the TV or the picture frame, which is a TV, one of those picture frame TVs, which is so nice, a matte finish. And I worked on myself the TV mount, the arm that holds that TV. So it's recessed in because the wall was built out. I was able to recess it in so that when the TV gets pressed into the wall, it's completely flat, just like a picture frame would be. And we had to make sure that wall was completely level and flush so that when the TV does get pushed in, there's no gap between the picture frame and the wall when you look at it from the side, and there wasn't. Perfect flush finish, so that turned out really nice. Crown molding around the living room there, in the living room and the dining room. So now when we go over to the dining room, there's that trim, that white trim that was there from before. So they just kept that. It was a nice little design. So in the dining room, we got the colors completely different, but again, goes so well thanks to the designer. Got the trim going around the walls here. So that trim makes it look like the entire wall is a piece of MDF paneling, but it's not. It's just the strip of trim that makes it look like it is this fancy paneling in the dining room. And I helped them with the placement. So whenever we're doing things like this, yes, the design says one thing, but then you see something else on site and it's a little bit off. And then if you did it exactly how the design's telling you, then it wouldn't look right. So I'm always contacting the owner. If there's any question, any different design, subjective opinions, whatever, I'm always gonna contact the owner to ask them exactly what they want. I'm not just gonna do it my way. So we ended up going with, we drew some things out and measured it all out, so now it looks perfectly symmetrical. Then when we walk over to the kitchen area, to the right, when you turn right there, there's a powder room. Look at the difference between the before and after. Looks so much different, so nice. With the red, the maroon. We switched around where the door is. So the door it was on the right showing the toilet, but they wanted it to show the vanity and not, you don't want to be walking into the toilet, which I agree. We had to switch around with the pocket door there, which is always a bitch. Working with pocket doors is never fun, but it's okay. Turned out nice. We have the countertop here, or the vanity here, custom. I put the supports on it, and then they came in and installed it, slid it in perfectly. Tiles go nice with it. Then you have the vanity light, you have the mirror, the faucet, new toilet, new towel ring, blinds. So that's the bathroom, the powder room. Now as we go out, go to the left again, and now here's the kitchen. So this kitchen, what we did was we had originally these cabinets were, I believe they were 3 pieces. Now it's 4, the faces above the stove here. They're 4 panels. I'm pretty sure it was originally 3 panels, but because of the height and the thickness of these, all custom, it was so heavy. So we split it up. I think they had to remeasure the sizing, the width of the panels that are running up. They're just cuts in the board. Because they're heavy, we also had to put 3 hinges on either side of the doors to make sure that it holds the weight. There's the exhaust fan in there as well. We had a lot of fun getting the exterior of that exhaust fan connected. There's like a big old branch, trees that cover up walls. They just like climb onto your walls. It's like an older area, so the brick is wrapped around with all this vines and stuff. So that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Backsplash is these tiles, fancy tiles. A lot of people are going with these tiles lately, I find. My brother has them around his bathtub, something similar. And these have a lot of lippage. They're not straight, they're not perfectly level. Some are higher than others. So you run your hand across it and it's jagged and sharp. It's not that the tile setter did a bad job. He did a good job, but you can't win with those. It's always gonna have that look, which looks nice, which looks really, really rustic. And so we go to the right now, we make a right, we turn to this side of the kitchen, and we have, originally there was just a pantry that was standing there. So we got rid of that and we put cabinets with a dog cage where they put their dog in there. Medium to large size dog. So it was a perfect fit, perfect cage. They wanted it to be enough space. At one point the carpenter installed the cabinet away from the wall there to the right, maybe 2.5 inches. And she's like, no, I thought it was gonna be bigger. It's already a little bit smaller. I wanna max out the space completely. So I took it off and I made it like that, completely flush to the wall. So now every single angle from right, left, top, bottom, it's maxed out as much as you can. There's nothing on the bottom of the cabinet. It's just straight floor. I even drilled the floor there so that a hinge can go inside, and that's like a stationary door. You can open it, but it's more stationary. It locks on the top and bottom, and then that left one opens. So the dog can go in. And then to the left there, you have your microwave, fits perfectly, nice and snug. These tiles match the other tiles. And then you got glass on the top there, also pretty heavy cabinets. That looks like it's cut, but it's one full cabinet door. And that's pretty much it. Just wanted to show you guys some details of projects so that if you're curious, if you maybe are thinking about doing a project, you know how much goes into it, how much detail. Maybe you're just curious and you feel like watching the ins and outs of a renovation. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you on the next one.